Hello guys, this is me, Kirill, your justice analyst, and today it's time to continue our analysis video of the entries for the Eurovision Song Contest 2025. And if you would like to see more content from me or maybe to ask me a question, you can definitely follow my Instagram account, Kirill Travels, where I'm sharing my travel experiences. I have been to 83 countries at this point of time, so you will definitely find a lot of interesting stuff there. But focusing on our today's topic, today we're taking a look at the entry from Luxembourg. So the country which had this big comeback last year out of nowhere after 30 years of not participating in the contest, and then against all odds also making it into the final and finishing really higher than expected by anyone. And because this formula worked, this year they decided to organize a national selection again. I have listened to just snippets of all the songs from that selection. I really didn't find anything very much spectacular or outstanding apart from the winning entry by Laura Thorn. She's 25, she's Luxembourgish, and she's working as a music teacher in a small town in Luxembourg. So she got this chance to represent her country and to even take part in the selection by collaboration with two French composers. So these two French composers, they actually usually work only on musicals. They don't really write so many songs, but somehow they came up with this idea that it would be a really cool thing to make a tribute to the singer who won Eurovision 60 years ago in 1965 with the song Poupee de Cire, Poupée de Son.
Sous le soleil de mes cheveux blancs, poupée de cire, poupée de son. Mais un jour je vivrai mes chansons, poupée de cire, poupée de son.
So that song became a sort of Eurovision classic. It was even selected in 2005 at the kind of anniversary small contest with 15 best Eurovision songs of all time. It was selected as one of those 15 songs, so it's really loved still to this day. But the song had a lot of controversy because it was showing women as a kind of a singing doll or something like that. At least this was the idea behind the song when the composer was writing it. So yeah, the message is maybe not really fit into 2025. I'm not really sure what is the new entry about. I mean, it's a tribute to that song, but probably they're not doing the propaganda of the same message. So I would still think that probably the message is different. Let's just take a look at the lyrics of the song by Laura Thorn. Oh boy, the lyrics are really very different. So if you take a look, Laura is singing, "I'm not your puppet, that's how it is, that's how it is. Your little game is over. If you believe a man like you is manipulating me, go back to mommy, you better give up. New instruction manual, I can do everything without you. The doll turns up the sound. Sorry, but I'm alone to determine where my heart goes. And I'm pulling the strings." Well, this is a really cool message. Maybe you also remember there was this song Puppet on the Strings, which Sandy Shaw was then singing for UK a few years after.
I can't leave you there like a puppet on a string.
So yeah, as I have anticipated back then in the 60s, maybe it was okay to sing songs like that, showing women as a sort of singing puppet. Nowadays, it's obviously not acceptable, and it's really cool how they turn this message. I'm not really sure how exactly this tribute will work in the song, apart from having some references in the lyrics, because obviously you cannot use parts of that song from 1965 or even remake the song from 1965. I have listened only to short snippets of the song, so I have only heard like small part of the chorus. I didn't really feel any similarities with the 1965 song, but maybe it will come through the live performance. But first, let's take a look at the official music video, which has been released as well, and then I will take a look at the live performance. Let's go. Okay, my bad. I was only able to find the lyric video, so probably there was no official music video, but at least let's listen to the studio track, and then I will definitely take a look at the live performance. Well, it's already captivating from the very beginning. Very playful, reminds me a little bit of some other Eurovision entries like Zoe with Loin d'ici. Okay, this melody actually has something a little bit to do with this 1965 song, I think. And not much development in this second verse. I wish it would be a bit different, but it's very catchy. Yeah, nice sing-along part as well. Okay, a bit of sassy bridge now. Oh, okay, nice. Showing some vocals, really good. Okay, the whole last chorus is basically just showing off the vocals. Why not? Yeah, actually a really nice Eurovision entry. It really screams Eurovision to me. Even if the idea itself is very original, this tribute to the song which won Eurovision exactly 60 years ago, which is super cool, it still doesn't sound so original. It sounds like type of a Eurovision song we have heard many times before. It reminded me really heavily of Loin d'ici by Zoe. It's even in French as well. It's just this kind of happy fairy tale vibe, a little bit of this, yeah, childish song in some way. It will definitely be not lost in the lineup of the semifinal where Luxembourg will perform. We still have to take a look which semifinal is it, by the way. But now let's go for the live performance because I'm really curious to see how they have executed this on stage. Ah, oh, here's the France goal. So far, really good vocals, and also I really like that beginning where they showed this old part from Eurovision 1965. I actually didn't know that this is allowed, so maybe on Eurovision stage they will not be able to do this, but on the other hand, this would be just a cool entertaining factor. Eurovision is after all the show for entertainment, so I think they can definitely show this as well. Okay, some notes were a little bit not exactly there, but it still sounds good. I think this is a kind of a gap which is very much tolerable in a song. So I really like how it looks as well. So she's doing this kind of doll movements or marionette movements, which definitely feeds to the message of the song. But then towards the end, probably, I don't know, release this kind of movements, because there she's an independent girl or a woman who is not really getting herself manipulated by the other person. Let's see how it will change. I only have to say the backgrounds are really boring, right? It's just some kind of plastic toys or something like this. Looks a bit like made by AI, probably it is. So I think this song with this message really offers a lot of potential for very beautiful staging. Just take a look again at those Eleonora Love Is Forever or Zoe with Loin d'ici. Their performances were so beautiful. That's exactly what the song needs, but I'm sure on Eurovision stage it will look much better. Okay, she's a little bit out of breath. Of course, she's moving a lot on stage. Maybe on high heels it's really hard to move. I've never tried. I can't really judge. But I wish that she would be a little bit more stable with her vocal. Exactly. So now this transitioning is happening. So now she said, okay, I'm not a doll anymore. I'm an independent girl. I do whatever I want. So she kind of broke those chains. Okay, not all the notes were there. She kind of carried it out towards the end again, but yeah, still some imperfections. Well, she has time to work on it. I'm not sure how much time she had in order to learn the song, to learn all these movements and so on. I would imagine probably not like years, but now she definitely has this intense period until May when she can practice it really, really well. And yeah, to feel comfortable throughout the whole song, because you really see she's struggling here. She's unsure if she will hit it. Yeah, really captivating performance, really captivating song, and I think Luxembourg is probably again in the final this year. For me, it is really fascinating to see how Luxembourg is sending now year after year, like very typical Eurovision entries, so something what I would expect from a seasoned Eurovision country, which has lots of years of experience and they know what public in Eurovision needs, and that's what they're sending. Obviously, Luxembourg took part in the Eurovision semifinals just once, and it was last year, and it was of course a big success. 5th place and obviously 100% qualification rate. So this puts them in the last 5 years on place 4 from all the 31 countries taking part in the semifinal, which means 3 countries also managed to qualify on all 5 occasions in the last 5 years and have even better average result than Luxembourg. Which ones are this? You can try to guess, but you will definitely see in the next videos. But if we take a look at all the last 15 years, of course there they still have this 100% qualification rate, which is hard to achieve. And I was pretty sure that Luxembourg will be the #1 country, but no, there is one other country and their average score was even better. And which one? You will see. So Luxembourg was lucky to be drawn again second half of their respective semifinal this year. This year, however, it's the second semifinal, so the one which has 16 songs competing and not 15, so a little bit harder to qualify for Luxembourg. They will compete in the second half among the countries like Czechia, Denmark, Finland, Georgia, Israel, Malta and Serbia. I don't think they will put Luxembourg to close the semi-final show for the second consecutive year, because it's definitely a big advantage and I think it would be kind of unfair. But I was now talking all the time very positive about the Luxembourg entry, being kind of sure that it qualifies this year. But what do the bookmakers think? And I have already noticed that bookmakers currently rank Luxembourg second to last, so you can see lower than Luxembourg is only Montenegro in the bets to win the show, and above Luxembourg are countries like Albania, Iceland, San Marino, Georgia. Well, of course, it's easily explainable because the songs from most of those other countries are still unknown. So who knows, maybe they will send a huge sensation in Ulorine or whatever. But Luxembourg probably is not competing for the win this year. This is not really a winning material. I would say this is the song which usually would finish somewhere around place 15 or 20 or maybe even lower. But I think that we will see the Luxembourg entry in the final because it definitely ticks all the boxes what the Eurovision song needs. It has a great message behind. So I think they just need to work on a very good live performance. Speaking about live performance, I think they have definitely some good ideas there. I think the way how they staged the whole thing, that in the beginning she is like a doll, moving like a doll, and then towards the end she becomes this kind of independent, active, a bit more sexy woman. I think this is a cool concept, but they can even elevate it even more. Just tell story with your performance, show it with background visuals, because the song is really giving you so much potential, which you definitely should use. I think her costume can be changed as well. She can definitely look much more like a doll in the beginning and much more just like a pop diva in the end, and not necessarily this kind of burlesque, a bit erotic style. Maybe this is also not really necessary. And in the end, for sure, she should not just hold those high notes, but she should also sing a bit more, move a bit more in this new style, being now finally independent, finally strong and proud of being herself. So that's what I have thought about the Luxembourg entry this year. I think it's a great Eurovision entry. I don't think it will score so high, but I still think that they can make it into the final. I just hope they have a great production team behind who will stage a very beautiful theatrical performance for her. Please subscribe, I will really appreciate it. Like this video and definitely tune in for the next analysis video. See you, bye.